This is Heather at Lake Geneva Country Meats, and today I'm going to show you how to make an easy, delicious meal, and it's a stuffed Italian Romano chicken breast. And what I have here is our Lake Geneva Country Meats Italian Romano marinated chicken, and all I did was pound it out. And once you pound it out, then we have our ricotta cheese, and you're just going to want to spread that evenly all over the chicken breast. Might use maybe a tablespoon or two. Once you get that all rubbed all over the chicken, you want to kind of leave the outside edges open. Then you're going to put about a teaspoon of Parmesan cheese. I have sauteed mushrooms, and all I did was dice them and saute them in a little bit of butter. And you're just going to take probably about a tablespoon. And then I have sliced cherry tomatoes. You're going to take about a tablespoon of that. And then we have about maybe a quarter cup of sauteed spinach. And all I did was I took fresh spinach and I sauteed it in a little bit of butter. So you're just going to put that in, and then you're going to roll this up. Now to do it, I always leave a little bit extra with nothing on it so that you can start underneath and kind of grab it right in the middle. And then you're just gonna roll it together using your other fingers to kind of push the filling inside so that when you end, you're ending on top of where there's not really any of the filling. So you're gonna flip it over. Now I always try to use, if you're making like 2 or 3 of these at a time, I always try to use the same amount of toothpicks in each one, so that when you're done making them, you know that you pulled all 4 of them out if you use 4 or 5. But you're just going to enclose them, kind of pinch, and then make sure you get through both sides. And you're going to follow that all the way down. And you can kind of tuck the insides in just to make sure everything's in there. So once you have this, you're going to heat up a pan to about a medium, and you're going to put a little bit of butter and garlic, and then you're just going to saute it for about 10 to 12 minutes. You're going to want to make sure the chicken is completely cooked. And then for our next step, which is our white sauce to go on top of it. And what I have here is a pan heating up. I have about 2 tablespoons of butter. You're going to want to use the same pan that you cooked your chicken in, and I have one already cooked. So you're just going to heat up the butter. Once it gets nice and hot, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. What this is doing is creating a thickener for our sauce. You're just going to whisk that together. You're going to tell that it becomes almost like a clump, which is fine, because that's what you're wanting to create. You're going to smell like a nutty flavor. Once you smell that flavor, then you're going to want to start adding the liquid. So what I have is a half a cup of white wine and then a cup of chicken broth. And you're just going to add a little bit at first, just so that you can whisk it in there together. Add a little bit more. Just so, the reason that you're adding a little bit at a time is so that you don't create clumps. Once you notice that most of the clumps are gone and you have a pretty good thickness going, you can probably add the rest of it slowly into your sauce. Once you get it where it's almost like watery looking, then you can add the rest. So what you're going to want to let this do is you're just going to let it come to like a simmer. It's going to become like a nice thick sauce. One way to test sauce is if you take a spoon, and on the back of the spoon, if you run your finger down the center of the spoon and none of the sides start pulling together, you know that you have a nice sauce. So we have a completed stuffed chicken breast here, and once sauce is all ready to go, you're just going to top it off with the sauce and enjoy. This is a great meal to enjoy at home. It's easy to make. It took me less than a half an hour. So stop in at Lake Geneva Country Meats, pick up the Italian Romano chicken breasts and all the fresh ingredients today.